Hi there, welcome back. Today, we will be diving into one of the most fundamental concepts in Python called classes. By the end of this video, you will understand how to create and use Python classes. Before we jump into coding, let's quickly understand why we even need these classes. Imagine you're building a game and you need to represent players, enemies, or even weapon instead of managing multiple variables. So, for example, maybe the color of the gun could be something that you want to change for different guns, and so you could maybe code maybe a certain variable or a certain function that you could play around with and manipulate to get whatever you want. But instead of like having these bulky variables, you could use classes instead. So classes lets you bundle related data and behavior together, and we'll just see that in a minute. So here I have a code of an example of a class. I'll walk you through how this is created and how you could use it. And so yeah, first is you start by using class, and this tells Python that what you're going to write now is actually a class. Remember, for function, you would use a define and then the name of the function and some input and a column. Then you put in the code. That's how function works. For class, you just use class, small letter C, and then you give it a name of the class. In this case, I'm creating a car. And this particular car, I want to have ability to be able to start it. We could even add a stop car, could add a bunch of other stuff. Maybe we could even add the weight of the car or calculate the weight of the car or stuff like that. Those are all part of like information that could be related to a car. But in this case, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, not just overwhelm, so not as to overwhelm you. Sorry. And so what I did is I called it car. And the first thing in your class is you want to initiate this with the constructor and use the init. So it's a double underscore here, and a double underscore, you do the init, and then you pass in the variables, the input to this particular class. And then you the first one is always the self. You could use another name here, but it's a common practice that people usually use self, and so we're going with self. And so you assign this into the self by just doing this. So into the self, the brand, your inputs. You could use different variable, different name for these inputs, but yeah, I usually use the same. And so once you have this in, then you will begin to write a code that would do different stuff that you want to do with that particular class. So in this case, we want to display the information about this car, and for here we've given it the brand, the model, the color, and the year. We could add different other stuff about the car, maybe the speed, max speed limit, max speed, for example, could also be an input, and so you could just reassign that into the self. Now the max speed is equals to the max speed, and you could even like calculate the whatever you want to do with this particular one, but let me not just add many stuff. And so we want to display information about this particular car that we're creating. And for the display, we're interested in showing information about the brand, the model, the year, the color. Let's also add the speed that we just created just now. And so add that there. And then we'll also have another functionality for this particular class that would do something about or give us information about the car is running. So start engine. So we start engine, you should be able to start the car. And so basically it's just doing self dot it's running is equals to true. Yeah. And then we could check that. Right. And so if we run this now, we have this class called class car. We have this class called car, and this is how you use it. To use it, you just call this particular let me increase the font a bit. You just call this class, and then you provide in the inputs in the order that you provided here in the function. So we'll start with the brand. The brand is Toyota. The model is a Corolla. The color is a blue. The year is 2025. And for the max speed, let's give it a 200 miles per hour. And then we could print out information that are now in this particular my car. And to do that, we just remember, once we have like provided all this input and we've received it into this particular object, now we can be able to like access these attributes or these variables that are linked to this particular car. And so if we do this dot, then we'll do display information, then it will do this functionality. If we do this dot this, then it will work for the start engine. So that's how it works. And you don't have to like provide inputs here since you already have every stuff there. So you just need the self and everything is linked because that's what you're using within this particular function. And so here, for example, we provided this information, and for this last one, let's just do for 2. So we'll do for car 1 and the car 2, secure optimal, and the maximum speed, let's give it a 300 kilometers per hour. And so if we run this particular one, it prints for the first one. So it's a Toyota Corolla 2025, and the color is blue, and this is the max speed that it goes. And we could also print same for this second one. We just have to do that and change the info and ask for the car 1, and now we'll have the 2 of them printed here, and it could create as much as possible. So this is a clean way of coding. But also we could also do test using this other functionality about the start engine that we also had here. And so we do again the same way, provide the input into this particular car, and so the same the way we had it. Let's give it some maximum speed of 500, and then if we do car.start, and then this, let's just call this car 2 since we're increasing the number, then it should be able to like give us that this particular car model has started. And so that's about classes. It's very handy, especially when you're doing like a project that a bunch of your code, it's useful for like other pieces. So it's a good way of like bundling a bunch of information together, and then you have the flexibility to modify stuff and manipulate them to get whatever you want. So that's how to do class. Just know the syntax. You just need a class, and then you provide the name of the class you want, and then you must initiate it, provide your variables that way. And once you have those, then you link them together, and then you define other attributes or whatever methods are usually called methods to that particular class. And then to call it, you just call it, and then you skip over the self, and then you provide all your inputs to it, and then you have ability of like calling this dot any of this to do whatever it's coded there. So that's how to code and use classes. Hope this video was helpful. Please hit the like button if that is true. Share it with others. Leave a comment if you have any question, and I will see you in the next video where I'll be showing how to inherit properties, or how to inherit the information from other classes and use it in other subclasses. So the inheritance of classes. Until the next video, see you. Bye.